Welcome to Brain Wreck. I'm Jason X.
And I'm Kevin Graham.
And this is the best show on the internet.
Yep.
Well done, sir. Well
Yeah.
done. You're not jet lagged at all.
No, I'm just I feel the crud though. This is
the crud. Okay.
Yeah.
The WrestleMania crud. The post WrestleMania crud.
Excuse me. Let me take a drink of my hot toddy real quick, sir.
Oh, you got a hot toddy.
Ooh, that is spicy. Yeah, I made it myself.
Did you now?
Yes, I did. I had to ask Christy how to make it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was, I've never made one before, and I wanted to make sure I did it right. So she was like, just get some tea, get some get some cloves.
Right.
I was like, oh, partying, huh?
Yeah.
And then she was like, get the star anise, put a little cinnamon stick in it, and then if you want to add a little bit of something extra, you can. So I made myself a nice full hot toddy.
There you go.
Because she's taking a little bit of a pause on the drinking right now, I just made her a hot Todd. So she's sitting down there, being nice and cozy on the couch with a hot Todd, really just taking it in and taking it nice and easy tonight, which is good for her. Because she always deserves, a nice little, cozy time.
As the Eagle said, take her easy.
I was wondering where you're going with that. Because I feel like
I was trying to work on loosening my load into the conversation, which is also part of that song.
Did you meant to say that, right?
Well, it's in the song.
It's in the song?
Yeah.
What's that song about?
A hotel in California. No, hey, Fenton, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, Patrick Fenton. It's good to see you again. I ran into Patrick Fenton, no joke. I ran into Patrick twice over the weekend, just completely by chance.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Philadelphia is a small city,
Is it?
I mean, it's like 3 streets, right?
Very busy streets. Philadelphia is weird. This is the third time I've been to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
The second time I've really been in Philly for a substantial amount of time.
Sure. Right.
It's you know what? It's a city. I'll give it that.
It's a city. It's got its highs, its lows.
Highs, its lows. It was cold.
Mm-hmm.
The people were there. I would say not great drivers.
Well, I mean, it's a city.
Yeah, but it's one of those things too when you're going, because basically where we were staying, all we had to do was just go down Broad Street.
Why is there always a Broad Street? In any city, there's a Broad Street.
There's a lot of streets that are all the same. When these people were constructing the cities and the towns, it was just no originality. They were just always copying what the city before them was doing.
Right.
Yes, Fenton, Philly is weird. But one of the best moments was seeing Kevin.
Well,
Yes, one of the best moments was seeing you too, because
that was your WrestleMania moment.
That was my WrestleMania moment. Was walking down the street and seeing Patrick Fenton, and then being in line to buy merchandise and seeing Patrick Fenton.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna spot a Patrick Fenton in the wild,
yeah,
I've got 2 options. One is either going to be the chicken tender stand, or it's going to be the merch stand. One of the two.
I could tell you something, and we'll get into this in just a little bit. You, there was an 80% chance you could have found me at the merch stand this weekend. And we'll go over.
I mean, I see you're rocking the t-shirt.
Listen, I got this. So it's funny. This is one that I went back for.
Oh, okay. So you passed the first time.
No. Would you believe me if I said I bought 2?
But why?
Okay. So here's the problem. Okay. Here's the problem. So we went to. I went with my brother.
Sure, brotherly love.
Brotherly love. It was a brotherly trip.
Sure.
A bucket list item for the both of us together. We went to WWE World, which was the big fan access thing, on Friday. And we were in WWE World Friday morning, basically.
Okay.
Walking around, grabbing some stuff, and I see the shop area where they had like all the old like ECW inspired stuff. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So I walk up and I see these, and I'm like, oh, I got to get one.
Totally.
They had were XLs,
Mm.
like slim pickings, XX, XXX, and 2 smalls.
Oh, well, first off, I'm shocked that they had smalls.
I was shocked that they had smalls too.
Because at the Rumble, you weren't finding a small.
No, well, I figured for how big this was going to be, they were like, we got to get all sizes.
Sure,
we can't take any chances.
Totally.
And it worked because they didn't have any larges, and I was like, I should just buy an XL, and maybe, we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll fit me right. A little bit bigger than I like, because I like my shirts a little bit snug.
A little form-fitting,
Yeah, I like to accentuate the taters.
Yeah, you got to show off the mans.
Stones, brother.
Right.
We went back Sunday morning. They had it in a large, and I was just like, yoink.
Son of a bitch.
Yep, and Sunday was the day we saw Patrick in line.
Okay. See, I picked this up at the Salvation Army. $3.
Damn. That is a clutch, and like it looks so clean.
I mean, it's brand new. It like if they came with tags, it would have had tags on.
You could put that back up on the rack.
Oh, totally,
100%. Yeah.
Shop. Hey, folks. Especially if you're in the Florida area. I mean, we got the headquarters right down the road. Over in Orlando.
Yeah.
Like, check your local thrift stores.
Yeah.
You can pick yourself up a nice Kevin Owens shirt.
Geez, last time I was there, I got an AJ shirt.
That's right.
All magical things happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
So tell me, okay, so we're gonna go through the whole card, folks. Like, here's the thing. I don't watch the product. Period. I'm a busy man. I have a lot of things to do. However, the fucking Rock did a hell of a job.
You know what?
Selling this goddamn pay-per-view.
As we say, WrestleMania sells itself.
It does.
But we also say, you can sell a little more. And that's what I believe after this weekend.
Can always sell.
That even when the name alone sells, there's always a little bit more.
It's a little bit more.
It's like a little bit more.
A little bit more of a cash grab.
Yeah.
A little bit more. But so what we're definitely gonna go over the card, because I watched all fucking 8 hours of this goddamn product.
Hey, me too.
Over the weekend. I mean, you did more.
Yeah.
However,
we went to 4 shows.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna compare the live product versus what they put on TV. But I want to know about the stuff that I didn't see.
Okay.
I want to know about the world. I want to know about the events. I want to know the surrounding, the experience. What and at the end, I want to know, would you do it all again?
And I have my thoughts and opinions on that.
And yeah, you're gonna hear it right here.
Believe me, you're gonna hear some things tonight. So, and I'm not gonna get like super in depth, so this isn't gonna be like a run-on sentence. Basically, I'll just kind of give you the overall plan and just like some of the high spots, really.
Yes.
So again, this was something that my brother and I had talked about for years, wanting to do. And it was a thing, like, when I was out there, for Thanksgiving, I was just like, Mania's in Philly, right? He's like, yeah. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And like the next morning, he was like, did you really want to go?
Were you serious?
And I told him, yes. I don't joke about that kind of thing. If you ask me if I want to go to WrestleMania, of course my answer is going to be yes.
Right.
So we bought tickets that morning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Game time. Ended up saving, I think, like 20% on what like the ticket costs were going to be.
Nice.
Going through game time.
Clutch move.
Booked everything, was ready to go. We drove down Thursday night, stopped midway, stayed the night there, finished the drive to Philly the following morning. Wanted to beat the traffic, which we did. We dropped off our bags at the hotel. We're like, all right, let's like grab a quick bite to eat, grab a coffee. And we walked over to WWE World. WWE World was an experience.
Okay.
One that I would highly recommend doing.
Highly recommend.
You don't need to do it every time. And really, this is one of those situations too where you have to consider what your interests are. Like if you're interested in going and checking out like old merchandise that you can't buy, photo ops. Well, like they kind of had like a little museum area for like the
Okay. All
Attitude
right.
area,
Right.
where it was like old gear, memorabilia,
Okay.
posters, stuff like that. So they had a couple like museum walkthroughs. They had an area where they had all of like the old actual championship belts. Like there was the very first Intercontinental title,
Shit.
the very first women's title, the $1 million belt, the ECW title. They actually had the original ECW title over in an area that had like the ECW entryway set up.
Ooh.
There was an in your house entryway set up.
Oh shit! They had the big window and everything.
Had the big window, the big door, everything. My brother and I got pictures in front of it. They had like a Bray Wyatt. They had the Firefly Funhouse set. They had a Bray Wyatt when he last debuted set. There was a Bloodline set. You could take your picture in front of the Slim Jim ring. So there was like a ton of photo ops, and then they had signings just like every day. They had panels every day. They were doing live auctions. They were doing the Pat McAfee show. So if you're interested in that stuff, do it. At least do it once.
Big question though.
Yeah.
Did they have the big ass Dusty statue?
No, they didn't.
Really? No, the Andre?
No Dusty, no Andre.
God damn. That would have been the highlight for me.
I think that would have been pretty cool to have. Honestly, I didn't even think about it though, because they also had Eddie's lowrider and The Rock's drag race car that they actually put out there for a little while. So it was cool. Again, not something like we could have done it just the one day, and I would have gotten my fill. But we ended up going back the last day, even though we didn't have tickets. We were able to finagle our way in. But then when we were there, we got some pictures. We hung out and watched the Pat McAfee show for a little bit. They had a tattoo area.
Oh.
Which I was very tempted.
Ooh.
I was like, nah, we're not going to do it. No statue. Oh, yeah. Fenton says no statues, but they revealed Bray Wyatt on stage, but you cannot.
So they made a Bray Wyatt statue?
I believe they were showing off some of the last concept attire that he was doing.
Oh, okay.
Fenton, correct me if I'm wrong, because I only saw the documentary. And I know that they were doing a Bray Wyatt panel at one point with Jason Baker, who made all the masks and stuff like that. Does a ton of work with the WWE, actually. But yeah, we did it the first Friday. Had a great time there. We did the shop. This was the start of my downfall.
Okay. How did it compare to the Superstore at the Raymond James?
Miles better.
Miles better? I was going to say it was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, the Raymond James one was a little bit it was not that great. I'll say that. It was kind of the same situation when Christy and I went to the Rumble in 2023. And kind of and like that was also a very similar situation when my buddy and I went to Mania in Dallas and did the fan access the Sunday of. Like everything was basically cleared out at that point. But second day, tons of people in there, mobbed. But like I walk in and I'm just immediately pulling things off shelves. I'm like,
he can't control himself.
We'll go through the merch in a little bit. I don't want to. Yeah. Friday night we ended up doing SmackDown last minute. I originally bought tickets to Ring of Honor, but my brother was like, SmackDown tickets came super down in price. I was like, let's go.
Okay.
I've never done SmackDown. Not that I didn't want to go to Ring of Honor, but there really wasn't enough meat on the bones there for me. Right. I just bought tickets because I was like, let's do something Friday night.
Sure.
The show was good. This was the third live show that I've seen for like a TV taping. So solid. It's your typical SmackDown before Mania. You know, everybody's taking it easy, but just getting their stories in.
Shooting angles and that kind of thing.
Shooting angles, you know, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton chasing Logan Paul around on a golf cart. Hilarious.
Right.
They did the Hall of Fame right after SmackDown, which is kind of like the new trend. Originally, we were like, let's not even bother. Because the Hall of Fame,
it was included in the price of the ticket for SmackDown was you got to stay for the Hall of Fame?
I think.
They didn't kick you out then, right?
Nobody said anything to us, so we just stayed where we were.
Oh, right on.
And so I typically don't really have too much interest in the Hall of Fame. Because it's a very long show.
Right.
And
I mean, ever since Mr. T went on about his mama, like everybody just kind of knows, like, you're in for an evening.
And so SmackDown and Hall of Fame was a package deal. Well, there you go.
Good to know. Yeah. Good to know.
Oh, wait. Jordan Kirby says that was the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. Shame on AEW. We might get into that.
We're going to get into that.
We've got a lot to discuss.
We got a lot to talk. Yeah. We might go a little broad.
We might go a little bit long. AEW. We'll see if we get there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So SmackDown ends, and my brother's like, "Do you want to stay?" I was like, "Do you want to stay?" He's like, "I don't know. Do you want to stay?" So we're kind of doing that back and forth.
Sure.
And so
no one can make a decision. Instagram household. I totally get it,
brother. Every time I go home, I'm like, it makes more sense. Every time. So we decide, let's stay for the first 15 minutes or whatever, kind of see what's happening. And let me tell you something about the WWE crew. I want to applaud them.
Oh, okay. Getting kudos.
The ring crew and the production crew, I would have bought a ticket just to watch them.
Oh, they were working hard, huh?
The smoothest operation. They change out the they change out the apron after every match.
After every match?
After every match.
Wow.
They take off the apron, roll it up. There's another one underneath it.
Jesus Christ, we only did after thumbtacks.
I know, right? They broke down the SmackDown set, the ringside area, and set up the Hall of Fame set within 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Dude, they were, and I was like, this is amazing. And then you got Charles Robinson running around still. Listen, I don't want to hear any of you indie fucks out there talk about, oh, I don't want to carry a board. Oh, I don't want to carry a guardrail. Fuck you. Charles Robinson is out there after every goddamn show doing ring crew, okay? If Little Nate can be out there doing ring crew, then you can get off your fucking self-entitled ass and carry a fucking board, okay? That's why Little Nate is the man.
Who'd you ever beat?
Yeah. You little pricks. So the quickness was a sight to be seen.
Okay.
And then it was getting to a point where I was getting restless. So I'm like, do you want to just go? And he's like, well, let's just stay for like 10 more minutes. I was like, okay. Because I thought Paul Heyman was going to be last.
I thought he was the headliner.
It only made sense. It starts, they start rolling the package. The first package they roll is Paul Heyman.
And you're like, oh shit.
I was like, ooh, I'm
okay.
Okay. We're starting off hot, I see. Which in the end I think made sense because it's like a 3-hour event.
Right.
No disrespect to anybody else because they're all worthy of the Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman was the draw.
Well, it's the same thing that they did with Mania, and we'll get into that, is like they opened each show with a world title match.
Right. But I think with the Hall of Fame especially, they didn't want to wait 3 hours to induct Paul Heyman because at that point, everybody's tired. Everybody's itching to leave.
Exactly.
Put him first. Give the people what they want. And boy, howdy, did he give the people what they wanted.
Right.
I edge of my seat the entire time. And if you have not.
I have not.
You need to go and watch his induction speech. Hopefully there is an uncensored version out there.
Okay.
Because
he's taking his cues from The Rock, basically.
Oh no, dude, this was like old school Paul.
Okay.
This was like, oh my God. He came out of the gate hot. He came out of the gate swinging. And boy, oh boy, did he drop some bombs.
Right on.
Highly
Right
recommend.
on. I've seen a couple clips here and there. I haven't watched the whole speech. I'll have to go and check it out. But from what everybody says, like 5 stars.
5 stars. Hands down, 5 stars.
Not even in Japan.
Fenton says, "Can't confirm Hall of Fame is silenced on those bad words. There's got to be an uncensored version out there.
There's a dark web.
Yeah,
like
dark web. You can find anything there.
Anything.
You can find a toe.
Yeah,
You can find a toe by 5 o'clock. We leave NXT the next day. NXT was fine.
I heard it disappointed a little.
See, here's the thing. I don't watch enough NXT to really know what would be disappointing. Fenton says 7 stars in the Tokyo.
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you from my standpoint, there was some good stuff. They need to do something different. Too many matches went too long. Not like guys were going over time.
Oh, okay.
They needed to have shorter matches. Too many matches did the same exact spots within the match. Too many matches did the same exact spots as other matches.
So it was like watching the Royal Rumble where every 5 fucking seconds you're seeing a spine buster.
Something like that. Yeah. There are too many, like across the entire weekend, there were too many "you were my friend and then you betrayed me" angles.
Okay.
Too many working through an injury angles, and I think that was mainly NXT.
Okay.
And too many false finishes for the sake of false finishes. Because there was a triple threat match, especially where you could tell 3/4 of the way through the match, everybody was gassed. Everybody was tired, and I think
brother
tired. Yeah, I mean, the first match was hot because you had Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, who were fun to watch, versus Axiom, I think his name is, dude in a mask, and then a guy that basically just watched too many Seth Rollins matches because he does all the Seth Rollins stuff.
Okay.
Like literally, you could tell me that guy was Seth Rollins and I would believe you.
Oh, he's a goof?
Huh?
He was a goof?
Kind of, I guess.
Okay. We'll get to Seth Rollins. I got an opinion about Seth Rollins.
Okay. Yeah, overall, NXT was fine. Oh, Fenton says, "I hate that they let the cameraman in the ring for the fit." Yes, that I didn't get that. Like, the finish is coming, and suddenly the cameraman just gets into the ring. I'm like, why the fuck is he in there?
That's odd.
Yeah,
it's an odd choice.
That's dangerous. That's a hazard, sir.
He's one of those dudes that's just looking for the workers' comp case.
Exactly,
that's what it is. He's trying to work the system.
But NXT was fine. It was what it was. Night 1. Get right into it.
Okay.
Overall opinion.
Okay.
I thought it was fine.
It was fine.
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I did not hate it. I did not dislike it.
Okay.
For me, it was good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Again, I think some of the matches probably could have gone a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Just to speed things up. Mainly because Mania being 2 nights now.
Right.
You're in it for the long haul. Because now you've got about 7 to 8 hours worth of content you have to consume.
Okay.
So I would much rather, and like, I get it. Like, you want to get everybody on the card. You want to get everybody their payday. You want to get everybody their big send off or the blow off match, whatever.
Right.
I think number 1, you could do Mania earlier in the day.
Oh yeah, totally. Why are we waiting?
Why are we waiting until 8 o'clock?
Like those fucks over in the UK.
Yeah.
Like they're up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Listen, give me a 6 o'clock start time. Eastern.
Totally.
6 o'clock. Because like it's a Saturday.
Right?
Okay.
Ain't got no
and it's Mania. If you're not planning your day around WrestleMania,
the fucking NFL starts football games at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Start WrestleMania. What for the love? Start WrestleMania at 1:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like over on the West Coast, that's like fucking what, 10 a.m.
I don't know, or like do it in a way where if you're going to be on the East Coast, do it in a way where you start in the day and then you end just after sunset.
There you go. Right.
And then people can take their time getting
You
out. They
get your
don't need to
boomy
rush
fireworks
back.
and all the shit,
Yeah.
Like you still get the thing. Now, one thing that they did talk about on air was the cold. How cold was it?
It was cold.
Oh, it was a little chill.
It was chilly. Fenton says the original WrestleMania started at 1 p.m.
That's why he's the agent, folks.
That's why he's the agent, folks.
That's why he's here. Earns his paycheck every week.
Yeah, it was cold. And as somebody who was traveling from 80-degree weather, I was upset. I was mad. Felt like that was not cool for them to do. Night. I wouldn't say night one was freezing, but it was definitely uncomfortable to a certain point.
Did you remember to bring pants?
Yes, I wore pants. I wore a hoodie,
right?
And I wore a leather jacket, and I wore a winter hat.
Layers, folks.
Layers.
Gotta wear layers.
Still cold.
Still cold.
And I know there was some chatter online about like, the crowd is dead. No, we weren't dead. We were just cold.
Just cold.
Okay, just cold. And I'll also say, throughout the entire show, people popped for the spots that deserved a pop. And I feel like that happened throughout every single match.
Okay.
So it was kind of like a Japanese crowd.
Okay.
More subdued.
Right.
More just engaged with what's happening.
Sure.
And then when a high spot would happen, yeah, that was great. I wouldn't say the crowd was dead.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say the crowd was disinterested. Mm-hmm. I think they got the pops when they needed to get the pops. I think they got the fans riled up when they needed to get the fans riled up. So,
can I make a controversial statement?
Ooh, okay.
As a man who watched the show from the comfort of his living room, up on the peacock.
Yep.
I almost think night one was better.
Sir. Okay.
There are only a couple things where I can accept that night two was better, but I think it was a hell of a lot closer than a lot of people say.
Why do you say night one? I'm genuinely intrigued by this.
There was no match on night one where I was like, this is awful.
Oh yeah.
There was a certain match on night two where I like, this is fucking horrible.
I bet I know which one.
I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious which one it is.
Yeah. I got a fun story about that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the opening match of night one might have been the best match all weekend.
I could give you that.
Mm-hmm.
I think here's what I think. Overall, Rhea versus Becky,
great. Phenomenal.
I thought Seth and Drew was great.
Okay. Here's the thing. Well, I'm sure we'll get a little bit more into it. CM Punk ruined that match.
See, and I have not watched it yet.
CM Punk on commentary was fucking horrible.
Okay.
He buried everybody, everything. He didn't wait to actually be introduced, so he just started talking. And even Michael Cole was just like, there's an ominous voice that we'll get to sometime. Like, he was totally 100% going into business for himself the entire time. Granted, the angle that they did at the end was great. But the whole time, he's burying Seth, he's burying Drew, and it's just like, fuck this guy. I don't want to listen to this guy.
See, to me, that makes sense in context because the whole idea is that the three of them hate each other.
Sure, I get it, but like also,
don't ruin it.
Don't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, don't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
I can tell you in the arena or in the stadium rather, the match was great.
Okay.
Not hearing commentary, I thought the match was done very well.
I need to say this right now. Okay. As a man who went to the Royal Rumble live, who does not watch the product at all, who watched 8 hours of WrestleMania, these commentators,
yeah,
besides, and I never thought I would say this in my entire life. Besides Michael Cole,
yeah,
are fucking horrendous. Like Pat McAfee,
yeah,
can give you a one-liner
yeah.
every now and then, but at the end of the day, like he is both cheering for the babyface and the heel at the same time constantly.
Yeah.
Corey Graves is trying to be a heel, but he's also doesn't want to be a complete heel.
Right.
So like he does praise the babyface, and then Michael Cole is a straight babyface. So like, you know, you know what you're getting there, but like half the time they were like during the Uso match, right? Which wasn't the best match. Okay. But at the end of the day, like halfway through, McAfee is cheering for, and I don't know the difference between the two. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know which one's which.
Jay has short hair and blue tights.
Okay.
Jimmy has braided hair and red tights.
Which one yeets?
Jay.
Okay. So halfway he is praising Jimmy for being right and going with the bloodline in this one, and then the other half he's doing this thing.
He's doing that.
And I'm just like, you have no idea what the fuck
he's just happy to be there.
He's happy to be there, but it's annoying as shit.
Yeah, no. I kind of go back and forth on Pat McAfee. Because I think, like, yeah, as you said, every now and then he's got a good one-liner that really like pops, you know, the table.
Yeah.
But I think overall, like, he still needs to do a little bit of work on sort of like picking a side, essentially.
Yeah. Fenton says here, Corey Graves put in a bad spot. He's got to be a babyface by play-by-play on SmackDown now, but he's expected to be a heel on color commentary when they do pay-per-views. Okay, but let me tell you something. The best commentator all weekend long, Snoop Dogg. Fucking killed it. He was awesome.
Snoop's the man.
Snoop is the he during that fucking garbage of a goddamn match that was happening, he was just like, man, I like suplexes. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Snoop.
A new Gordon Soley in the making.
Fucking A.
I'll tell you the story about that match. So, because that was what, match 2, night 2?
Yeah.
So the entire time, my brother and I were just like, we could give a fuck. You know, I like the Street Profits. You know, I think they're a solid team. I think they got great talent. You know, Bobby Lashley's Bobby Lashley, solid dude. AOP, whatever. Karrion Kross, his stock for me went down years ago.
Right.
So I had like no interest in this match. So I'm like, okay, bathroom break. I get up, I start walking down. There's a ton of dudes going to take a piss.
Everyone knows.
And as we're going down the stairs, we hear Snoop Dogg's music hit. And then as we walk through the doors, somebody turns around. He's like, why the hell do they got Snoop Dogg coming out? And I'm like, because we're all going to the bathroom right now and they want people to stay.
For that gin and
like,
juice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Listen,
it was whatever.
The fact of the matter is, if you've been in this business for more than like, I don't know, 5 years, and you know what you're doing, you can tell by looking at a table whether it's going to fall and break when you put a dude on it.
That's
you can just tell. You can you should just know.
You know.
Right?
Yeah. I appreciate the fact that they use prop tables. Because let's call it what it is. Those tables are gimmicked.
Right.
Those are specially made tables intended to break safely. There's a reason why they snap in half so perfectly. Right. You know, and you can probably just pop them back together.
Just like the action figures.
That's the problem is they look like they're toys.
And I thought it was in completely poor taste to get Alex Jones as a referee.
Brother. Legitimately, I got back to my seat. I'm watching the match. And my brother goes, yeah, it's crazy that they got Bubba out here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, Bubba. I'm like, where? He's like, the referee. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Bubba Ray Dudley is the referee. And I'm like, You fucking serious? He's like, yes, they just brought him out. And I'm like, why is he wearing what he's wearing? He's Bubba Ray Dudley. Like, put him in some fucking camo. Put him, like, give him a sleeveless shirt. Why is he dressed like a fucking ref?
Until he put the fucking glasses on, I'm like they're looking for a pizza shop in fucking Manhattan. Like,
fuck.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. So going back to night one, overall, yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought all the matches were good. Again, very cold, which hindered things a little bit. Rhea Becky was great. I thought the ladder match was a lot of fun, especially with R-Truth in there.
He is a goddamn treasure.
R-Truth, give him all of the give him a garden, okay? That man is a Hall of Famer. Oh, that man should be protected at all costs.
I mean, he was around when the restaurant was there. He's guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Nicolas Cage, if he could, would steal him in the next National Treasure movie because he is a national bygone treasure. That man.
Absolutely.
Happy to see him win at Mania. I think that's well deserved. What the fuck? Did not see the Ray tag match. I don't know if that was night one, night two.
That was night one.
Night one. I was going to the bathroom. Missed the entire match.
You missed the entire match?
Missed the entire match. Because I went to the bathroom and I was also in line for a cheesesteak.
Oh, okay. So, you're important business. Here's the thing about that one, okay? I can appreciate. I was actually really kind of excited for this match because I'm like, all right, man, you got like, two tag teams essentially. Yeah. And again, folks, I don't follow the product, so like I'm just like along for the ride, basically. Sure. You got two tag teams, both that have Latin descent in them. And I'm like, okay, this is great. You got Dominic and Ray. They're doing that again. You got fucking what's his fuck that left and then came back, Andrade. And then there's a guy I don't know who he is, but he seems okay. And then everybody's got a tag team. Fucking Carlito's out there. He's spitting apples. The whole thing. And then the match goes on, and then like these fucking two humongous white dudes in like luchador masks just like show up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what happened? What is going on? And then they take off the mask and everyone's like, whoa. And I'm like, I still don't know who these people are. Like, I have no idea who they are.
I only know one of them is Jason Kelsey because he's the brother of the guy who's dating Taylor Swift.
Okay.
The other guy I did not know. My brother knew him because they both play for the Eagles.
Well, that's the thing. And that's what I don't understand. Okay.
Right.
Is I get the local pop, right?
Yeah.
That's what they were going for. But this is WrestleMania. Okay. I think we can do a little better. All right. Now, if they unmask and it's Tom Brady, fucking everybody knows who Tom Brady is.
Yeah, but they're gonna throw shit at him in Philly.
Nobody knows who the goddamn center of the look. They wear helmets all the time. All right. Yeah, I mean, like he should have just kept the mask on and hiked the fucking football. It would have been the same thing.
To be fair, I think a lot of people know who Jason Kelsey is.
I didn't.
Well, you're one man, okay?
I'm a paying customer.
72,000
I know who Tom Brady is.
72,000 people knew who Jason Kelsey was.
You put fucking Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe in that fucking spot, okay? And I'm popping huge.
God damn, why'd you throw that out there? We're moving on. The Usos match. I thought the Usos match was very underwhelming.
It was.
Yeah,
they were trying to tell a story and it didn't hit.
Berkman's got some thoughts about your take on Jason Kelsey.
Some take. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like, everybody knows who Drew Bledsoe is.
Yeah. I feel like the Usos match would have been like a good SmackDown match to build to like a different type of match.
Sure. Right.
I thought they did a great job producing Jade Cargill in the 6-woman tag.
Yeah. It was a really fun match.
I thought, overall, I thought that match was solid. I feel like everybody looked good.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Jade Cargill is going to be a star.
Totally.
No way about it.
The thing is, like, if they keep her an attraction,
Yeah.
She's going to make all the money.
Yeah. And I think what that also allows her to do too is continue to develop to the WWE style. Not that she's not ready for that, but there's definitely a reason why I think they haven't had her out there getting the mix enough, because they really want to work with her to do something different. It's got to be.
Well, she's more ready now than Baron Corbin was when he first got his push.
Oh, 100%. And I like Corbin a lot.
Yeah.
But like, fully agree. Yeah.
And then we had you had two other matches on the show that we haven't talked about. One, the Intercontinental title match, Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Which again, I know who these guys are. I know what they do, type of thing. This was the one match when I said that, like, I thought night one was better than night two. This was the one match where I think they went a little too far.
Really?
I think that it got to the point where it was a little unbelievable. They beat Sammy down too much.
Okay.
For him to make the comeback that he did, because it was almost it was different. It'd be different if he had like a history of fucking hulking up and doing shit.
I mean,
he kind of does, but not to the extent where he's taking 7 fucking power bombs.
I can agree with that. There were a lot of finishers, a lot of signature moves being hit.
Yeah.
Throughout the weekend. I'll give you that. And I can kind of see that. The one thing I really noticed during that match, because there's been something about Sami Zayn as I've been watching him more recently that I really haven't been able to put my finger on. Like, I haven't really been able to figure it out. And I think I figured it out this weekend. What is Bergman saying? Bergman says he saw it as a tribute to WrestleMania 3 and the elbow drops. That could have very well been.
Okay.
But I'm going to say this about Sami Zayn, which is what I figured out over the weekend. Because, like, his style, his sort of essence, his in-ring emotions, I haven't been able to figure out, like, what it reminds me of, and then I figured it out this weekend. He's very much in the vein of a Mick Foley and a Terry Funk.
Okay.
Where he gets beat down a lot, but he kind of gets that, like, last wind of energy. He's kind of on staggered legs, but like Terry Funk would do when he was like fucking reeling, he would just fucking punch you.
Right.
And knock you back. And he would just get this like last reserve strength, this last reserve momentum, and be able to somehow fight through it. And I think that's kind of where they're transitioning with Sammy, is kind of having him be that underdog who can go the distance and can withstand the beatings.
I think I wouldn't have hated it as much, and hate's a strong word, because like, it's a fucking wrestling match, folks. Yeah. But like, had he hit the brain buster and then delivered like 7 kicks in the corner, I would have loved that.
That's kind of something that I was missing too.
Yeah.
I felt like, not that I didn't like the outcome of the match. I felt like the finish was missing like one hint of something.
Because they didn't protect Gunther at all. Essentially.
No, they kind of, he took the brain buster, he took a Havula kick or whatever you call it, and like that was kind of like a 1 or 2.
I do love that he did the same kick earlier in the like Gunther hit him with the same kick and they called it something different. And I'm just like, fucker, it's the same fucking kick.
It's the same kick. Yeah.
It's the same big boot in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that match was missing something at the end to really solidify the finish. And then you had the main, which went almost an hour.
Yeah.
Which, holy cow. And I'm hot take.
Okay.
I have said before on the show that what happened leading up to WrestleMania And at WrestleMania night 1 was always the plan.
Ooh.
Okay. I always said everything that went down as it was planned.
Interesting.
It was always supposed to be The Rock coming out and claiming the match, Cody taking a step back and saying, I'm not going to fight you at WrestleMania, but I'm going to take your title eventually. And then Cody coming out and saying, no, I want the match now. I think this was always the plan. After watching the tag match night 1, for me, solidified the fact that this was always the plan.
Interesting. Okay, and what's your tell? What's the secret?
You would not have gotten a good match between Rock and Roman.
I would agree. After watching the tag match, I would absolutely agree.
The tag match was good. Was it the greatest tag match ever? Not by a long shot. Was it the greatest WrestleMania main event ever? Not by a long shot. Was it good for what it was? And did it help the story? Yes. I thought it was a great attraction match. I thought it was great to see all those dudes in the ring. I thought it was great to see everybody mixing it up. But if you did Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, the crowd would have shit all over it.
I would absolutely agree.
I don't think The Rock would have been able to go. Because here's the thing. I don't think him alone would have been able to go 20 minutes. That man is too big.
Okay.
Too heavy.
Okay.
I don't know that he's got the wind. I don't know that he's got the balance. Because there were a couple of times when The Rock's moving around and he's kind of lumbering. Because he's carrying a lot of weight on him.
I mean, he's a big guy. I mean, he towers over everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's a fucking wide individual. And guess what? There ain't no stunt double coming out to finish his match.
No, not at all.
He's a big man.
I will say though, while all that is true, he may be the best seller in the business.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
I don't deny his credibility in the ring one bit. But watching him compared to everybody else, you could tell that he was taking his time, which I think is fine. I'm not saying that as a negative, but you could tell that he was taking his time. Everything he did, I feel like had meaning. And like, let's face it, if you get hit by The Rock, you're going down.
Right.
Okay. Right. And that was one thing I did sort of appreciate was even though he was a bit slower, he wasn't as crisp and smooth as he used to be.
Kind of fell in the ropes that one time.
Yeah, when he went for the groin punch and he fell over. Sorry, Dwayne.
Hey, he's human, you know?
I lose my balance walking down the steps. What do you want?
Yeah.
But I did believe that when he hit a dude, that guy would go down.
Right.
So, like, you call him the final boss. I do believe that when The Rock gets his hands on you and fucking gets a move on you, you're losing a third of your life.
Which, by the way, and only Fenton will know this, stole my gimmick. Like, what the fuck?
Stole Samoa Joe's gimmick too, but
I mean that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought that tag match was phenomenal. I thought I loved it. I almost actually liked it better than Cody Roman. There is, and we'll get to Cody Roman. There's one glaring issue about that match.
Which match?
The Cody Roman.
Cody Roman?
Yeah, which we'll
get into that in a minute.
But overall, a solid night 1.
Yeah.
I think the weakest thing on the show was probably the Uso match.
Yeah, I would say that.
Which even that, like you said, that could be a SmackDown main event.
That could have been a SmackDown main event. That built to something else. I think they just took a misstep with that match. I think they were missing a way to finish and close out that story because for me, that feud is not done.
Right.
I feel like if you're going to end it, you end it at WrestleMania. So yeah, overall, I think it was great, dude. The fucking atmosphere, and Fenton, let me know if you felt the same way. But like the atmosphere in that stadium was unmatched. Like just seeing that many people, because we were higher up. We ended up getting like club seating, but we were still high up and kind of off to the side. But just looking around and just seeing the amount of people, I'm like, this is insane.
And they were all popping for falsies and the whole thing.
And like I said, everybody was engaged when they needed to be engaged. You know, as quiet as the crowd may have come off, I felt like the crowd was reacting when they needed to react, which I think is fine. Also, great moment of the night. My brother and I out of that parking lot in 10 minutes.
Oh, that's clutch. That's clutch.
Booked it because we parked at the Wells Fargo Center, and then we kind of had to scramble from the stadium to the Wells Fargo Center. Realized that there was an entryway right where we were sitting that we did not go to, so we're like, "Boop, let's go right down there." Came right out on the side that we were supposed to, come in and out of. Got over to the car. Boom, we were on the highway within 15 minutes. It was glorious. Fenton says the crowd was there to be wrestling fans. It was a wrestling crowd. Absolutely.
Which is wonderful because I'm so fucking sick and tired of everyone, quote unquote, hijacking the show.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
You paid a lot of money. Like, fucking enjoy yourself, for God's sakes.
You paid a lot. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, so we were out of there in like 10 minutes, which is crazy because the next day we were on the elevator at our hotel, and there was this woman in there with us, and she was like, "Did you guys go to the show last night?" We're like, "Oh yeah, it was great." She's like, "Yeah, it just sucks because like we didn't get back to the hotel until 4
in the morning."
I was like, "We were like, what?" She was like, "Yeah, it took us so long to get out of the parking lot." My brother was like, we were back at the hotel by 11:30. She was like, "How?" We're like, "We left. We got out. We drove. Like, I don't know."
Right? Fenton, how long did it take you? Throw that in the chat.
Yeah, Fenton, yeah. How long did it take you to get out of there? Sunday, we get up. We go to WrestleCon.
Okay.
Wasn't really sure what to expect with WrestleCon. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't.
Oh, all right.
If that's your thing, hey, totally fine. For me, it is not something for me.
There's a lot of sign-in, meet and greets kind of thing.
I knew it was a lot of signing, a lot of meet and greets. I just didn't realize that I thought there were more vendors that were going to be there.
Okay.
And really there weren't. It was primarily signings, meet and greets, which not really something that I care to do. Fenton says we were back at the hotel by 12:15, 11:40. Okay. It took so okay.
A little, I mean, maybe an hour more than you first night. So
yeah, didn't know what to expect. Tickets weren't that much. So we walked over, we checked it out. Honestly, it was a lot of people I already met and drove around.
Like, hey, you remember me?
Yeah, I thought about going up to Duggan at one point and just been like, "Hey, man, do you remember me driving around for 2CW?" But he had like a huge line.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, eh. So it wasn't that great. But so right after WrestleCon, because I bought a couple things, we went back to hotel. Then we went back to the WWE World because I had to get this shirt.
Totally.
And then that's when my brother and I snuck into the actual like fan access area.
Sure.
Because at WrestleCon we got red wristbands.
Okay.
We stopped at the hotel real quick so I could dump my shit, and I ripped mine off. And my brother's like, "I wonder what color wristbands I have at WWE World today." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, I wonder if it's a red day." And I was like, "Oh shit, I ripped mine off." He's like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like,
"Well, because as I learned in Charlotte, you don't let anyone brand you."
It's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, "I'm done with this, rip." So he's like, "Go get it." I'm like, "It's in the garbage." He's like, "Go get it,
asshole."
So I go over, I get it. It's all ripped. Show it in my pocket. We walk back over. I buy the shirt. We walk back around. We're kind of peeking at people's wrists and stuff. Sure enough,
it's Red Band Day.
Fucking red wristband day. So what I did was I took the sticker, the WWE sticker, off this shirt, taped the wristband back together.
God
and
damn
because
it.
like the people working these events, like
they don't give a flying fuck.
They just want to make sure you are where you're supposed to be.
They just hope you didn't bring in a gun. That's it.
Yeah. So we walk through. I do the quick flash. So like,
come on in.
Come on.
I'm making minimum.
Yep. So we go in. We didn't even stay for that long. We just kind of wandered about a little bit more. But and I'll show my swag.
Okay. So, and then we'll get to night 2, folks.
We'll get to night 2. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, okay, you got to go with the Mania magnet.
Look at that.
Okay.
Well, okay. What do you know prices? Can you shout out the prices on these?
I'd rather not.
Fuck.
I spent a lot of money.
Well, I mean, right.
And I'm not proud of it.
I mean,
but I'm happy with my purchases.
If you're happy, then you should be proud.
So I got the magnet. Then you always got to get the pin.
Okay, I got the pin.
This is my thing.
Right.
Every time I go to one of these goddamn events, got to get the pin. Got to get the magnet. Fenton, you shut the fuck up.
Keep a tally, Fenton. Let me know at the end what homie spent.
Yeah, okay, Fenton. If you can actually tally up based on what I show, how much I spent, I'll send you something. I don't know. The magnet, the pen, then you got to get the souvenir cup.
Okay? He got the cup, folks.
I got the cup.
He redeemed himself from the Royal Rumble.
From the Rumble. I got the souvenir cup.
Good for you.
And then we also got
Fenton says that he spent some money too, so he hears you. He knows.
Fenton, you and I should probably compare costs. But much like the cup, the pen, the magnet, you got to go with the program.
I get yourself a program, like a number program. Yeah.
Okay. And then of course I got this shirt.
Right. So that's one shirt.
And then as we discussed, I also got this shirt.
Christy's got a great point. She says, "Who the fuck are you afraid of that you're going to find out how much money you spent? Like it's not like you owe somebody any money."
I know. You forgot the program. How do you forget the program?
Fenton.
They have them everywhere. How do you forget a program? Anyways, I got that shirt, okay? And then because I had rep, got to go with
got the Bray Wyatt.
Okay. Yep. Got to get the Wyatt gem. By the way, I watched that documentary the other night.
Okay.
Whew, that made me sad. Okay. And because, we did go to NXT and they didn't really have too much NXT stuff, I did buy a shirt to commemorate
the event.
The event.
The event specific to you, yep.
Okay.
Fenton says he only saw the program once.
Once?
One time.
Patrick, they had them at like every merch booth and at least 3 spots in the shop zone.
Hilarious.
Fenton, what's going on? And because I kind of like what he's doing and I really just like the colors of the shirt, I bought a Braun Breaker shirt at NXT.
All right, right on.
Also, okay, I will say this one was like $20 compared to most shirts, which was kind of like they're trying to sell him because he's getting called up.
Sure, right.
What else did I buy? Okay.
This guy.
When we went to so when we went to WrestleCon, I was actually pretty pumped.
Okay.
So there's an artist that I follow online whose name is Hal Haney. Hal Haney Art.
Shout out.
Okay.
Right.
He does a lot of great like wrestling art stuff. And so he had a booth there, so I stopped by. Actually talked to him. Super cool dude. He's doing the artwork and the styles for, I don't know if you've been following this, Ultra Pro Wrestling.
I have not.
This is a spiritual sequel to all of the N64 wrestling games.
Well, goddamn.
If you have not looked it up, check it out. This is a game, like this is the wrestling game I am waiting to play.
And Fenton says his stuff's awesome.
His stuff is awesome. Yeah.
Fenton approved. The agent approves.
I got this.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty dope.
And when I picked it out, he was like, "Oh, you're a man of taste." And I was like, "You goddamn right."
Goddamn right. Like
he does he does a ton of great work. And then I also got, because they didn't have one of the ones I asked for, I went with this one instead.
Ooh, okay.
Foundation Demolition.
That's dope.
Okay. And then they did not have the Road Warriors version of this.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I need something for my spooky corner. And he's like, yeah, because like everybody needs something for the spooky corner. I have a spooky corner.
Totally.
I'm like, yeah, like, you know, my entire office is just like 90s pro wrestling and horror crap.
And
he's like,
and spooky.
Yeah. And he's like, that's like the best stuff though. 90s pro wrestling and horror crap. And I'm like, yeah, like we're cool guys. And then I got this.
Ooh.
Kind of a, split gimmick thing.
Yeah, like an evolution type of thing.
Like an evolution thing, yeah. But I think
approves of the Heart Foundation demolition.
Thank you. I did, and then the last thing I bought, which I think might be the coolest.
Okay. Did you get yourself a replica belt?
No, I did not. So the last one they had. Okay. And I felt like I got this kind of for a steal. I don't really know what values are these days.
What's value?
But to me, it was a good value. And I got this.
Ooh. Wow. Signed. Wow.
With the certificate of authenticity.
God damn. Look at you, pal.
I was looking, I was like, God damn, I like that. So this I was really worried about because it came in a plastic like sheath.
Sure. Right.
And I was like, ooh, how am I gonna get this back home?
Right.
Because it was bigger, because like even if I took it out and rolled it up, like it was still bigger than my suitcase.
Was it your carry-on personal item?
No, I was able to. So my sister-in-law gave me a cardboard tube.
Okay.
When I got back to their house, and I basically like ripped it apart, rolled it around the poster, and then I wrapped a t-shirt around the bottom. Put another t-shirt around the sides to sort of keep it like protected.
Right.
Put, like, my winter hat around it, and then I put a koozie on top so it wouldn't fray.
God damn right.
I got my Kejimuto. I'm gonna frame that. Unfortunately, I was hoping they would have something like with him as Muda.
Right.
But they didn't. So I was like, that's cool too. Also, let's talk about autographs real quick. In fact, let me know if I'm off base here.
Okay.
These fuckers at the Shop Zone for WWE World, they had a signed Stone Cold 8x10.
All right.
A black and white photo of him at WrestleMania 13.
Okay.
Where his face is all bloody.
Sure. Right. Yeah. The double
13.
switch.
Yeah. $350. Just an 8x10. And like the plastic thing that in the plastic sleeve. That's it.
Certificate of authenticity?
I mean, it was done by whatever their signing gimmick company is now. So it was authenticated.
Okay.
On the other side of that booth, they have I don't know, it was like 16 by 20 framed, unique sized picture of Hulk Hogan with a logo and an autograph. Nice frame, nice matting. $350.
Can I be honest about something here? Okay. As a man who has access to the Hulk Hogan beat shop, like on a regular basis, I'm kind of over Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Hogan was there too, signing autographs.
I mean, I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
The thing is that the man's a menace.
He is. Okay.
He is a menace. His son's gonna kill somebody.
Yeah.
So like, well, he already has.
Kind of did.
You know, but like, can we stop like fucking idolizing the man? I mean, okay. Fenton says the Superstore autographs were insane.
Yeah.
Some were okay, but mostly were insanely priced.
Yeah. So now I could have at WrestleCon, High Spots was selling. Kevin has been the Pier 6 champion for 10. Yeah, like I'm still the Pier. Yeah. Side note.
There you go. Man's a legend.
Brute and I are still the Pier 6 champions. Have not been defeated. So just throwing that out there. Thank you, Gavin. Hope you're doing well. Fucking go over to High Spots, area at WrestleCon. You could get like an 18 by 32 Bret Hart, Ron Rudat print sign for like $150.
Well, goddamn.
So I'm like, the prices are all over the place, and I don't know what to do. Anyways, I spent a lot of money.
If you got a total of what the man spent, please.
I can tell you, I can give you a rough estimate.
He might give you the program. You never know.
1, 2, 3, 4. 180.
High spots prices were so much better. The Fenton agrees. The agent putting it out there.
I spent a lot of money. That's all I'm going to say. So night 2.
Yeah, now we got to get to night 2.
Yeah, now we got to get to night tour or night 2. Should I put the total in the? I'll tell you what. Put the total in the Discord chat, and then if it's true,
he still doesn't want the people to know.
No, now I'm just curious if Patrick can actually figure it out. Because if he figures it out, that's pretty awesome.
The man's an agent. He knows what he's doing. But night 2 opened up.
For me, much better.
Well, I mean, it was warmer.
It was warmer, which meant the crowd was more energetic. We weren't sitting on our hands trying to not be cold. You know what? I thought every match delivered.
Okay.
Even the hardcore schmaz.
Oh, Bergman makes a wonderful point here. That Hogan's been signing shit forever. You could go to a goddamn signing for Brutus the Barber and get yourself a Hulk Hogan signed piece of merchandise. Where Austin, he's been just tending to his
but when they have like stacks of them,
right?
And I get it. Like Austin's probably a little bit more difficult to get access to, but they have stacks of them. And so night 2 overall, I thought every match delivered.
Did you see Fenton's?
It did. Yes.
$415
is probably close to what I spent on merchandise.
God damn, the man knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I thought Seth and Drew was great.
Okay.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
So
I've already to say about Seth.
I do. Well, first off, I've already mentioned CM Punk ruined that fucking match. But also huge shout out to whoever the fuck made Drew McIntyre's gear. Because if you don't know the story,
dude,
UPS lost his gear.
I got heat with UPS right now.
And the goddamn woman who made it left WrestleMania night 1 early to stay up all night to remake the gear for Drew McIntyre. Stayed up till 6 a.m.
Put her in the Hall of Fame.
Forgot, unbelievable story. Fuck UPS.
Seriously.
For that. But this Seth Rollins guy, okay? I understand liking or loving or even idolizing the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Mm-hmm.
You, sir, are a fucking clown. I do not know what the fuck he was wearing. I do not know what the fuck. I swear to God, I thought Adam Rose came out for his entrance. I had no idea what was going on. He is a goddamn goof. He's a horrible character.
Brother.
Decent worker, but yeah, exactly. Fenton, real Warrior Hall of Fame moment right there. Yeah. That's real dedication. But he's a goddamn goof.
Seth has had a wild evolution over the years. I mean, he's done just about every sort of gimmick.
Sure.
Drew's entrance was pretty awesome. That's true. Fenton, yes. The bagpipes almost got me in the beginning. I was like, So I got a thing about bagpipes,
Oh, okay.
Being a Scotsman myself.
Oh, is that what you are?
I feel I'm a lot of things. Okay. Yeah, I thought that the thing with Seth is his character has just gotten weirder and weirder, and I think that's just the direction that they've gone in.
But okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at this dude as someone who doesn't watch the product again.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking clown comes out in the weirdest fucking shit with the weirdest fucking people around him, and you're like, okay, he's a fucking goof. And then he gets beat, loses. If he gets beat night 1, he loses his title night 2, and then he comes out in the main and gets fucking owned like the biggest geek on the face of the planet.
There's an explanation for that.
I mean, I understand it's long-term storytelling, whatever the fuck. But
so you can't. It's right there. It's the long-term storytelling.
Yeah, okay, let him do something first. Let him hit fucking goddamn.
No, you're missing.
Bitch.
You are missing the point. You're missing the point, and we don't have time to go into that tonight.
Okay,
but I'll explain it to you later. But there are great internet threads going right now that explain everything that happened and why it happened in the way that it did, which make total sense. We got to get through this fucking card.
Yeah, I mean
we're going long, baby.
Yeah.
Damian Priest coming out,
cashing in.
There, it doesn't matter who you are as a wrestler. The moment your music hits to cash it in, the crowd eats it up.
Totally.
Because
they're seeing something special.
They're seeing something special.
Unique.
And especially since like everybody's kind of like shit on Damian Priest as the Money in the Bank winner because nothing has happened.
Oh yeah, he's the bondage Undertaker.
He's the bondage Undertaker. Yeah, it works for him, man.
Right.
Wild, great moment. Got the crowd. Everybody ate it up. Fucking phenomenal. The 6-man hardcore match with Alex Jones as a special guest referee.
Right.
It was fine.
They're turning the frogs gay.
It was fine. I'm waiting for Montez Ford to basically do that over the corner plancha and land in the second row. Because at this point,
he was so close.
And I'm waiting for him to do that because the moment he does that old ECW clip of RVD jumping from the ropes into Bam Bam, that goes away.
Right.
Not that I want it to go away. I mean, I love RVD versus Bam Bam. It's a great match. But like that becomes the new clip.
Totally.
Totally. and I think he's great. LA Knight versus AJ. Solid.
It was solid, but let me ask you something. Like, who the fuck did AJ Styles eat? The man is huge.
The man is enormous.
The man has bulked.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like he's winding down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's almost 50. So the man's winding, but like, holy shit, he's packing on the weight. Like he's bulking up.
Brother said, I got to get that last run in me. I got to get that. I got to be a body guy.
He's stopping at the iron skillet. Like he's putting it on.
Looks good. Still friggin' going out there and doing it. Still hitting the spots he needs to hit. The water in GA has gotten better.
Fucking A.
Probably. Listen, man. He's got the time. He's got the ability. He's got the energy.
Right.
He's gonna do it. Yeah. I still don't get LA Knight, and I'm okay with that.
He is like trying to be Stone Cold Steve Austin right after the Ringmaster gimmick. Like he's trying to, like, right as Stone Cold became Stone Cold, like he's trying to get there.
Yeah.
But he's not as talented and he's not as experienced.
Right.
And he's not as good at it, but he's like he's almost I could see him almost getting to that point.
For me, he would make a great heel.
Totally.
But the fans love a simple chat or a simple chant.
Totally. They want to be involved. They want to participate.
Yeah. And there's not enough there for me. If he's your thing, I applaud you. Congratulations. I don't get it.
He needs a little more ring work. He needs to get a little bit better in the ring and he'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah. The triple threat match for the US title, I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. a lot of people give a lot of praise to Logan Paul, which I think is fair. But I don't think Logan Paul gets to where he is if he's not working with the caliber of talent that he's working with.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So, Fenton says LA Knight almost broke his nose one time at Excite. Haha. Well, did you punch him in the schnoz? I mean, come on.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Was he working Sean Carr? Like, what was going on?
Probably.
So this match, I will say my two big takeaways. Everyone says Randy Orton doesn't do anything. And to be fair, he doesn't. But like him and Kevin Owens may be one of the most entertaining things on the whole show.
Dude, watching them on SmackDown was worth the price of admission.
There you go.
Along with Paul's acceptance speech. But there is very much something about that their dynamic, and I feel like Randy has had a lot of that lately, where he's just pairing off with these guys, and you can sort of see something in him that's different from when he was very much like sort of like the lone wolf type character.
Right.
He was very dull, very methodical. Where now it seems like he's got a little bit more personality.
Sure, he's fun. He's fun,
Randy Orton, he looks like he's having a good time.
He's having a good time.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah. Fucking Bergman.
Oh shit! No, that's news to me. Oh, that's wonderful, Bergman. I'll have to check that out. The other big takeaway from that match, okay, is I have no fucking clue who the Prime bottle guy was.
I didn't either.
But like, listen, if you're a YouTuber, right, and your buddies with the biggest YouTuber of all time, and he's gonna give you the spot to be the Prime bottle, to take the RKO, somebody's got to tell him, like, you cannot say the word fuck 8 times in a row. Because there was a point where there was just silence because the dude just kept fucking swearing nonstop. And when
in the middle of the match?
Yeah, when he was face to face with Orton.
Oh.
Like he was just cussing him out, and like they just had to cut it all. And it's like, did no one smarten this guy up? Like, you're not on YouTube, bro. Yeah. You're on the cock. And when you're on the cock, you got to behave yourself.
Yeah. Get those fucks out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I don't know who he was or what he did or anything like that, but like, come on, man. Like, you're getting paid.
Apparently his handle is I Show Speed, and he plays FIFA, Fortnite, and Roblox.
Wonderful. Cut back on the fucks. I mean, Fenton's got a wonderful point. Unless you're The Rock.
Unless you are The Rock.
Which is his character.
Yes.
I love the final boss character of The Rock, where he is just cussing everyone out. It is the greatest character he has ever done.
We'll get to that in a second, too. Because I do want to touch upon the Bayley Io Sky match. Okay, cool.
More than this channel.
More on this channel.
Subscribe, by the way.
Well,
I want to wear a fucking mascot costume and get RKO'd on a table. Yeah. For God's sakes, I'm trained.
I'll be Logan Paul's bump guy. I don't give a shit.
Sure.
Bayley versus Io Sky. Loved it. Thought it was great.
Wonderful match.
Yep. Yeah, I really don't have much to say about it other than like I thought it was solid. I thought the storytelling there was good. I thought that I haven't seen a lot of Io Sky matches, but I thought her personality throughout the match was very very interesting to watch. Like she showed a lot more character than I think I would have expected, and I really didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
But she kind of had this like very non-blasé type of attitude, and maybe that's what she always has, and I just haven't been watching closely. But I was like, yeah, this is solid. I am entertained by this.
I thought it was good. I thought they went for that. I assume her finisher is the moonsault. I think they went for maybe 1 or 2 times too many.
Okay.
But other than that, like, very solid. Like, it was obviously put in place. Like, they want to keep Bayley happy. Okay. Yeah. Like, she's been there long enough. She needs to do everything to be so they gave her the Rumble win. They gave her the title match at Mania win. So now she's basically done everything there is to do. I don't know if she's won a chamber match. She might have to have that left in her to do. But like, other than that, like that was the whole point of this.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. The Rose plant is a bad finish. Just go back to the belly to belly. I will say the spot where EO sort of countered out of the Rose plant was sort of cool.
Right.
I was like, oh, I don't know what happened.
I liked that. I thought that was good.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what it was, but I liked it. And then you got Cody Roman.
Yes, let's get to this.
Bloodline rules.
Yep.
I thought this was so entertaining. I thought it was entertaining to watch in the stadium.
Sure.
And I watched it back right before this show. And I thought it was just as entertaining on TV.
Okay, so you did go back and watch it.
I did. I went back and I watched the main event from both nights right before the show. Right. So I could have that little bit of a refresher. For me, everything worked.
Interesting.
I was happy with the way everything played out. I thought the surprise run-ins were perfect. I didn't get the one I wanted. But when I thought about it more, it all made sense.
Did it?
We'll talk about the run-ins right now.
Let's do it.
Everybody who came out on Cody's behalf.
Yes.
Jay Uso, John Cena, The Undertaker. At one point or another, and Seth Rollins, at one point or another, have all had heat with the Bloodline and Roman Reigns.
Okay.
They all have had history. Roman beat Undertaker at Mania.
Right.
The Rock and Undertaker have had a long history, which I actually thought that was really cool to see, like, two guys from that era squaring off again.
Right.
Like, to me, I was like, this is not what I expected, but I like it.
So as everybody has kind of said, everyone kind of assumed it would have been Stone Cold Steve Austin.
A lot of people thought that was supposed to be the Austin spot.
So, and there were talks of him being at the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are the rumors.
So it makes me wonder, and that I thought there were two glaring issues with this match. That was one of them.
Okay.
I thought that the Undertaker did not necessarily fit. Like, I get, like, he did the Roman thing, but he wasn't there to stop Roman. He was there to stop The Rock. And Undertaker and Rock, they were there together at the same time in the Attitude Era. But for the most part, like, they didn't really have a history. Like, they were in the corporate ministry together, and that's kind of it.
Didn't The Rock, like, legitimately bury him?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure Fenton Bergman. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was like a multi-man buried alive match, and The Rock buried the Undertaker.
I mean, The Rock buries everybody, but like, so that felt a little out of place, but it also felt like, ooh, Steve's asking price was a little too high.
Yeah,
or whatever the case may be. And then that also got me thinking of, like, if this was pitched to me, and I'm Steve Austin.
Undertaker had a history with Yokozuna too.
Okay. I like that better. If I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin and this angle is pitched to me,
Yokozuna turned the Undertaker into Marty Jannetty. I don't know if you know that.
I did not.
Because that's who ascends from the casket.
Oh, that was Jannetty?
That was Jannetty.
I did not know that. Look at that. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, but that was like, okay, Fenton. Yeah, I get a buried alive tag team match, but like,
right.
But that was also the thing where like they did that long promo where like the Harley ran out of gas in the desert and nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
And then the big man came walking out of Death Valley with the Harley over his shoulder.
And like
I can't believe you of all people pulling that one out.
Because it was the worst fucking promo at like Big Show was even like, what are you talking about?
They were trying so hard to get him over.
And it never worked.
No.
It never worked. The most over he's ever been is in the Waterboy. So anyway, I thought that was a little flat for me. I mean, if I'm Steve Austin and they're offering me any kind of money and this story, I'm taking it. So I don't know what maybe it wasn't pitched right. Maybe he's just a selfish prick. I don't know.
I mean, the dude showed up for Mania 2 years ago to wrestle Kevin Owens.
Right.
Like, I think they could have gotten him out of there.
Yes.
Bergman, if you have the facts, please send it over.
Please send all the facts.
This is my theory. Okay. Mm-hmm. Maybe the money wasn't right.
Right.
Maybe the timing wasn't right.
Sure.
Maybe he felt that doing some sort of interaction with The Rock would have lessened their final match together, because the final match together was sort of like Austin giving it to, like, handing it off to The Rock and giving him that final moment. And if Austin comes back and beats the shit out of The Rock, so maybe there was something there where he didn't want to go back and sort of like ruin that history.
Right.
Just a thought.
Could be.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, I thought The Undertaker, the thing, it would have been way cooler if The Undertaker hasn't been doing podcasts for the past year and a half on every fucking podcast. So like we've seen him very recently. Right. So like it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other glaring issue I have with this match, and it might be the biggest glaring issue.
Okay.
Night 1, main event, stipulation, Bloodline rules. Whole point, right? Why the fuck did not, once the bell ring, every single member of the fucking Bloodline come out and just beat the holy fucking shit out of Cody Rhodes? It made no sense.
You're trying to think.
It made no sense.
I mean, it's kind of like, why in the movies doesn't the bad guy just shoot the hero like immediately? You gotta build, brother. You gotta get the people going. You gotta work them up and then bring them down.
You don't gotta tell me about storytelling. I consider myself a master storyteller. I'm also a masturbator as well. But the point being, don't give me a stipulation and then go fucking 30 minutes with just Cody and Roman with near falls when fucking the guy with the thumb could have come out at any point.
It did seem like, for as much as they built that up, it really wasn't used to its full potential.
Exactly. Hold on. Bergman with some facts here. We got August 2022. 8-man tag on Raw. Taker, Rock, Goldust, and Booker T lose to the Un-American. Oh, you mean I assume that's 2002?
Yes.
And Triple H. So
yay for Lance Storm.
Have it. Good for him. Good for Lance.
Good for Lance Storm.
He's got he's in TNA. He's got himself a job.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean. Like, for as much as they pumped that up, they really didn't do much with it. Because I wouldn't really say run-ins are Bloodline rules. I would maybe say it would have made more sense if, like, you had Solo Sikoa and Jimmy outside the entire time and maybe doing more of like a lumberjack sort of thing.
Well, that's what I presumed was going to happen, was he was going to come out with his posse, and then Cody was going to make his big entrance with the skull mask, and then his homies were going to come down with him, and we were essentially going to have a lumberjack match.
Yeah, maybe. Josh also says Maybe Roman wanted to work it solo.
I mean, right. Okay. Sure.
I mean, he would have a good take on it.
I mean, the best. But like, the thing is, you work your ass off for night one, right? You have the match. Obviously, everyone leaving the match at night one is hurt. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? They've all been through hell.
Yeah.
If you're Roman Reigns and you're the champion and you got this motherfucker who's coming after you and he came that close to beating you night one, like in his bloodline rule, I'm coming to the ring with a gun. Okay?
Yeah, but then doesn't that kind of make you look like a bitch?
Who the fuck cares? It's about going to the pay window.
Yo, did you hear? Okay, so there is a part in the match, which I think Roman had some of the best liners in that match.
Oh,
like
yeah.
When he's choking Cody and he's like, "This is my company, you little bitch."
Oh, when he hit him with the crossroads and he's like, that fucking move sucks.
That move sucks. But there was another thing. But there kind of like to the pay window thing, there's another point where like there's a 2 count and Roman looks at little Nate and he's just like, that hits 3, that's a $3 million bonus.
Right.
Yeah. I will say, like, it was kind of interesting to see Roman like throughout the match kind of like Orton, sort of like showing off more of that personality.
Totally. Yeah.
And kind of being a little bit more loose with everything. Because to me, I was like, the guy literally, Christy was watching that with me earlier. The guy literally just had like one of the best runs.
Oh, 100%.
In the history of professional
unmatched.
Wrestling. Unmatched.
In the past fucking as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
So
I would even say like better than some of the guys who held it longer. Just considering the level and everything going on.
I mean, who the fuck did Bob Backlund beat, for God's sakes?
I mean, he beat Bret Hart.
And
you asked.
So did Goldberg. So, like, yeah.
Apparently, Bret Hart signed a Goldberg Bret Hart 2-pack and wrote "ouch" over Goldberg during WrestleCon.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So I agree with you that the Bloodline rules could have been built up more. For me, though, it did not take away anything from the match.
No, I mean, all kidding aside, like, it was a great match. Yeah. It was way better than a lot of. It was better than fucking Booker T and Trips.
Yes, it was. That is true.
So you got that.
Yeah.
Now I do have a very important question. Okay. As a man who was there live, caught up in the moment.
Yes.
Big win, the whole 9 yards. Were there any tears?
From me or from people around me?
I mean, from you. I don't give a fuck about who was around you.
I mean, did I cry? No.
Okay. Not even when Bruce Pritchard came out?
Maybe if he had a red face and a white suit, I would have popped for that. Better than Pun and Graham versus the Dojo. But Josh, we're not talking about that. Listen, that whole weekend doesn't exist in my head. Okay, I just want to point that out. I was in school when that happened or something. Right, yeah. No, I mean I graduated like 5 months prior. Mikey.
Oh, shout out to Mikey from Texas. Look at that. Look at it. Oh, just Kevin? What the fuck, bro?
I mean, you put him through a flaming table. I just put him through a guardrail.
Yeah, I made him famous.
You did make him famous. No tears. The dude, but again, like being in the stadium for when that happened was insane. There's just something about going to a live show like that where you fucking Mikey. Just the audacity of the spectacle. I'm like, you have no right to make this many people so happy. You know? Like, it's just a great
government
experience.
Can't do it. So
what?
I said the government can't do it. So
no, yeah, fuck the government. More.
I will say in my household, there were tears.
Okay.
The wife.
Yeah.
Started tearing up a little bit because she was just like, there's so many guy hugs going on here.
Guy hugs.
And she's just like, she's so happy for all the guy hugs. And like it really, like when she said that, I was just like, that's an odd, but like when you really think about it,
Yeah.
like the amount of emotion that's being allowed to be shown between male figures in this day and age of wrestling, it's unprecedented. It's never been done before.
No. And like, I think it's great. Like, sometimes dudes just need a hug.
Sometimes you got a dude hug, you know?
Hug your dudes.
Hug your dudes. Like,
it's not gay.
No.
I mean, unless you're gay, like it could be
then
gay.
it might be.
And that's okay.
And that's fine too.
Yeah. If you want
But
to,
like, she was overwhelmed by the guy hugs.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to kiss your guys, like, can you?
Oh, fuck.
It's over. Where do you put this Mania compared to other Manias?
Top to bottom?
Yeah.
It's the best there's ever been.
I think so too.
It's the best there's ever been.
Yeah.
I think that like just in the thing, and it's hard to compare because like when you think match quality wise, like obviously we're not in fucking 2004 anymore. Where like fucking you're not getting goddamn, big beefy dude who can't work versus big beefy dude who can't work. Like you're getting dudes who can actually go out there and perform, who are fucking top notch. They're actual athletes. Like can go out there and perform. So like the caliber of performance is off the chain.
Yeah.
Like it's better than it's ever been. Even the fucking Uso match, like that wasn't that great. Like is still better than most of the shit that happened in the 90s.
I've seen way worse Mania matches. I've seen worse matches in the last 3 weeks.
But the one thing I really want to point out that was absolutely off the chain, and you touched on it a little bit, the production,
dude,
is unfucking real. Like the fact that as soon as they kick that motherfucker Kevin Dunn off the goddamn truck, and they're doing one shots that are going from backstage to the ring, smooth as fuck. You're like, holy shit, we're creating cinema here.
So I was fortunate enough because I flew back Monday night to Austin. And I was fortunate enough to have streaming on the flight. Thank you, Southwest. I was able to access Raw. So I watched Raw for my flight. And there's one point in the show where I don't know what the fuck was happening, but like Liv Morgan came out and just fucking walloped Rhea Ripley. Like fucking, she somehow came with like an over the head chair shot and sabooed her at the same time.
Super unsafe, but whatever.
But fuck. Yeah, I was like, oh, I like protocol. Okay,
right.
Like, fucking, let's remember the protocol here.
Shows her money.
But like the camera got down right into like Rhea and Dom, and then Dom like smacks the camera and was like, "Get out of here!" The camera turns and then just walks out to the ring.
Yeah,
single shot.
Fucking water.
And I'm like, and I'm waiting for something to cut, and I'm like, where are we going? Like, this reminds me of times when like you would watch wrestling and there'd be an interview, but then like the camera would break away and go chase down a backstage altercation or something. Like if fucking Punk is choking out Jungle Boy or some shit. So fucking stupid. So yeah, like the production quality and just the camera angles, like they were doing these like angled top down views last night, which I was like or on Monday night, which I was like, that's cool. Yo, okay, let's talk about this real quick.
Josh says
Sabu
fucking no-showed
an event he was in the same building as. You want to talk about a carny motherfucker.
The king.
Taking a deposit and not even rolling out of bed to go 2 floors down.
They probably didn't let his dog in. That was probably the issue,
So fucking carny. Holy shit.
Yeah, and There was something else we were going to talk about too. Now I can't even remember what the fuck it was.
We were talking about talent. Yeah, like just touching upon that real quick. I think overall production has been great. I think based on the press conference you got after Mania, you're going to start seeing smaller sets. This is my thought. This is my theory. Because the one thing Triple H said was, and I kind of understood why the set was as small for SmackDown, NXT, and Raw. He's like, we want to pack them in.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a reason why they made more money this past weekend than any other weekend or any other television taping. They had people around the entire venue. And I think that's a good opportunity. And also like it probably helps keep production costs down. Because you don't got to lug around this giant fucking stage and do all this like high level production. Like you can have just like a nice, simple entryway and people are going to like it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You're only going to see the entryway for what? Like 10 minutes out of the entire 3-hour show?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Now remember the one thing I want to give you your opportunity. Okay. So about a month ago, you went on the TikTok and you made the claim that CM Punk was not actually hurt and that this was just a way to basically have him save face, get him out of the title picture because he had just shown up in the company. And you took a drumming, sir. The people on the TikTok were a little harsh with you. And so I want to give you the floor here.
Listen, I try to be a humble man. Okay. If you know me, I'm a little bit more laid back. I try not to be, boisterous. I have my thoughts, I have my opinions. I have a very simple way of doing things. But God damn it, I was right. I fucking told all you goddamn marks out there. Yes, I'm pointing at you. Okay. All you dummies. Okay. You're dummies for not thinking that I was right and for calling me stupid. I said on this show weeks ago, there's a reason why they're keeping CM Punk out of action because he's not really hurt. Maybe he is, maybe it isn't. Doesn't matter. Because I also said you're going to see CM Punk be in the show somehow. You're like, oh, he's not, they're not going to, Punk's not going to want to, miss a payday, WrestleMania payday. Yeah, guess what? He still got his WrestleMania payday because he was there all weekend. He was doing pre-shows. He was doing commentaries. He was doing live events. He was doing spots and talking to people and shaking babies and kissing hands. Okay. I told you he was going to get involved. Okay. He was going to get into an altercation. Okay. And he was going to get involved into the Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins match. And God damn it, he got involved. You know what he did? He cost fucking Drew McIntyre his world heavyweight title. Okay. I'm right.
That not only that, but the thing that like stood out to me was he took the brace off.
The brace off. Yeah. You know who doesn't take a brace off and use it as a fucking weapon? People who are really hurt. Because guess what? He's not really hurt.
There you have it, folks. We've gone almost.
I'm not done. Come here. Fucking thing. I've got it wrapped around my microphone arm too much for me to get any closer, okay? But I was right. And you know that I was right, okay? You know it, okay? This is going out to all you people, okay, who are talking shit about me, saying that I didn't know what I was talking about, and I'm a dummy. Well, guess what? You're a dummy, okay? I've got a master's degree, okay? I'm a former champion. What are you? Some nerd? How about you give me your lunch money? That's all I got to say.
Well, folks, if you like what you've heard here tonight, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Brainwreck TV across all social media as well. You can also go ahead and get yourself the best goddamn t-shirt on the internet with our new Brainwreck TV logo right here over at tpublic.com. You can also go ahead and support our friends over at One Up Wrestling as well. Go follow them. Make sure the agent has a good time doing what he's doing over there. And of course, we will be back here every Wednesday night as we are live here on the YouTube's, Facebook, etc.
And real quick, do not sleep on what do we call it? Gimmick Mania Madness.
Oh yeah, our tournament.
The 3-part tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
What a fun time.
That was as fun to do as it is to watch. You're not going to have a bad time with it. Check it out if you haven't already. We're going to do more stuff like that, whether Axe wants to or not. Because I've got more.
It's a lot of work, fella.
It's a lot of work. But no, I've got some simple ideas. But we're going to do like more sort of content like that here on the show. Mm-hmm. Listen, it's 2024, okay? We're getting subscribers. We're so thankful for everybody who's been coming over, watching the shorts, engaging with us. Listen, even if you're leaving a shitty comment, you know, I would ask you to try to be a better person, but also like they make me laugh and I love responding to them because I think that if you're leaving a shitty comment, you're just a dummy. So I'm always going to engage with you as such. Okay. And there's literally nothing that you can say that'll hurt my feelings because you're a dummy. That's
and he doesn't have any.
So and yeah. So yeah, go check out those episodes. We got more stuff coming. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Share it with your friends. Get the word out. We're almost at 500 subscribers.
We're so close.
We can hit that by the end of the month. I don't know. I'll do something.
I'll do a backflip.
I'll do. Brother, these knees can't do that.
Well, thank you all in the chat again. Thanks for sticking around for almost this 2-hour-long episode recap of WrestleMania 40. So for this week, I've been Jason X.
I'm Kevin Graham.
And this has been your show.
Peace.